let's stop accepting it.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to accept.
We don't.
We don't have to accept. Just because we're here, we don't have to. What is your plan? What's your exit strategy? And it doesn't have to be necessarily like, you might still want to be here. You might still want to but you can contract. So if you're contracting, and again, that contract is from home, you can be anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Like, you can get contracts from other countries.
Yeah.
So is your skills transferable? Like, let's not feel like because we're here in a system, we have to stay here and live it and basically eat the way they feed us.
Yo, people, welcome back to the Bread and Butter podcast. You're here with myself, Tayo.
And myself, Eman.
And we're in the building, man. We're back again.
Back.
Just you and I.
Home soil.
Home soil. Are you ready? True. The audio people won't know, but we actually we told them, right? We did a few episodes in Dubai.
Yeah.
About 5 episodes, which we enjoyed.
It was good.
Some really good episodes, some really good conversations. But we're back on home soil, man. How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Even today was amazing for me. Like coming at a brunch before this, and in the city, so got on a train to London Bridge, bro. It sounds mad. Every time I go to London Bridge, somebody will stop me.
Seriously?
Like, like, it's crazy because it's London Bridge. Like, it's mad busy. There's people everywhere, and like today, this guy, I'm just minding my business, listen to music. Guy taps, man. Like, sorry, bro. Are you Emmanuel? And I'm like, yeah, hi, you okay? You don't just play it off like,
yeah.
Then he's like, no. Me and my wife love you. We watch the podcast every week.
Sick.
I'm like, oh, that's sick. Thank you, man. Thank you. He's like, have you got contact details? I gave him my contact details. I'm ready to walk off. He's like, can we take a picture? Because my wife is gonna go crazy when she sees that I got a picture of you. And we took a picture, and it's just like, but sometimes you have to forget who's around, bro.
Yeah, of course.
Because a lot of people will look at, who's taking a picture of you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's like, I always love those interactions because it's like, actually, you're putting out content and you're actually having an impact on people.
Yeah.
To the point that it means something. Like,
yes.
And I'd rather do content that means something to a few than do content that means nothing to the masses. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like, people are stopping you. People are talking to you. People are asking questions. People, like, you're making a difference. And I think that little things like that is very small, but it helps me just, okay, what you're doing is making sense.
It's a reminder as well, because I guess in this game, and a lot of people won't know, but in this game, it's kind of like, it's easy to think that, like, what's all this for, basically? Well, sometimes you wonder, is the audience listening that? And are you really hearing me? Because you need to understand with finance and property content and stuff like that, like, it's hard to get the masses to get a buy-in.
It's hard. It's very difficult. Yeah. Think about it. From us, look at us. If you put our combined following, it's well over 100K. But yeah, like, for example, on YouTube, to get people from Instagram to YouTube is difficult.
Yeah.
We can't even get 10%.
Yeah.
No, like, do you know what I mean? We're talking like 1% or 1%, 2% of our following, and probably not even that. Probably 1%, and then the rest found us on YouTube. Our people on YouTube.
Yeah, you got to build again. Basically.
You got to build all again like you never existed.
Like you never existed.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's a totally different audience, totally different people. And I think that's so like, sometimes, like, we have these discussions. Like, I don't even know what episode we're on now, but do you know what I mean? Like, it costs money.
Yeah, it costs money, bro.
It costs money, and obviously we want the best quality.
Yeah.
We want to put it out there. We're posting regularly. We're putting the clips out. We're putting the knowledge out. We're trying to get the best guests for everyone. Bro, sometimes you look at it and say, "Rah, is this just a vanity thing?
Honestly,
is this a vanity play? Are we just doing this for our own vanity?
This is it.
Do you know what I mean? But then when people stop, like, trust me, the way the guy was moving is like how I would be if I met Thierry Henry. Do you know what I mean? If I met Thierry Henry, I'd be like, nah, bro, I got Ian Wright. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, for someone to show you that much love, and you've never met them before in your life, like, do you know what I mean? And him to take a picture to send to his wife.
Yeah.
How many times have you taken a picture with a brother and said, I'm sending it to my wife?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, nah, my wife is gonna go crazy, like, to see that I bumped into you. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, you know what? Actually, you're making an impact. You're making a difference, and that's legacy.
Yeah, it's legacy. It's a good reminder still.
It's big. What about you? How you been?
Yeah, bro. I've been good. Feeling a little bit under the weather today.
Yeah.
but we have to keep pushing. Do
Come on, you was out fishing. It could have been that breeze that.
you reckon it could have been
Think
sea
about it, you was
breeze?
out fishing. You could have, you could have been out there. Could have been exactly. Things take a few days to what's it called? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Could have been. Yeah, you never know.
you never know.
You never know.
But
It's crazy.
we're here, man. We're
We're
here.
here. We're here. We're in the
So
building.
how do you feel now? Like obviously we're halfway through the year. I always tell people like literally like half the year's behind us and half the year's in front of us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how do you feel like when you think about when you are coming into 2025, like do you feel like you are where you wanted to be? Do you feel like you've done what you wanted to do? Do you feel like the year's gone the way you planned it to?
Yeah, I think that the only answer I can give is that I just thank God, bro. So
Love.
yeah, bro. Honestly, like, obviously, beginning of the year, took the family to Dubai.
Yeah.
Been back and forth between Dubai and the UK, and yeah, can only thank God, bro. It's been good. A lot of the things that I'm kind of where I hoped I'd be, basically, if that kind of makes sense. So, second half of the year, trying to do some bits and pieces out there as well. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's been good, man. It's been good.
I
What about
love
your
that.
side?
Yeah, I think I feel like I'm past where I thought I would be,
Sick.
but not in the way I thought I would be. Like,
Okay, yeah, I got you.
like so I thought mainly for the last however many years, most of a good portion of my income has come from brand deals, from working with corporate clients and so forth.
Yeah.
But towards the end of last year, it got quiet, and I thought, okay, maybe it's just like with everything that's going on in the economy, da 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 da. But then it carried on into this year.
Yeah.
So I'm so blessed, like, to have, and this is what when you talk about having an audience, having like my audience, they rock with man, like, do you know what I mean? Like in regards to man's done events, they bought tickets and turned up. Man does 1-to-1s, they're there. I've done, got a community. They've joined that. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like literally, like man's created this ecosystem where I'm able to keep myself afloat independently of brands. And I didn't know I'll be able to be there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
Like, and it makes you feel so much more freer that you don't have to go and almost sell your soul just to feed your family.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the idea of going back to corporate or getting a job just doesn't make sense to me. Do you know what I mean?
Why would you say it doesn't make sense to you?
I think for me, I'm at a position where I'm just too used to being in control of my own destiny.
Yeah, the right time.
And like for someone to now tell me, oh, we need you to be here by this time, or for someone to tell me, oh, we need you to do this like this, or the main thing is we don't want you to work with this.
Yeah.
That's the main thing I get when I work with corporates. Like even when I do contracts with them, they've got exclusivity on me. But if I worked for one of them, they'd never let me work do the work that I do, and that would then impact on the offering I can offer to my followers and to people that I really want to empower. So into my community. So yeah, I feel like that wouldn't work for me.
And I think that as well that one of the reasons for both of us, to be fair, is that when you have a personal brand, you going into an organization, it's kind of like a waste.
Yeah.
It's like you're a bright light and you're being put in a box.
Yeah.
Because when you have a personal brand and you work for yourself, you control many bits.
Yeah, of course.
Does that make sense?
Of course.
You create content here that trickles down into several places. Or maybe someone sees it and they want to work with you in 2 years' time. Maybe someone sees it today and they like it and they enjoy it and they're going to come to your event. It does so many different things, right?
Yeah.
But when you are in an organization, it's almost like it's been put in a box and there's not that much flexibility.
Exactly. And you know what? Working with brands works. Like, for example, like one of my clients who's been on the pod, Tolly, she worked with Diageo, like her doing that because she can say I work in this company moves. Same Hannah, because she's worked with Barclays, worked with Knight Frank, she can move into people invite her to places because of the brand. So I get why if you work with certain brands, it's okay, but it depends on your position.
Yeah.
I think when you work in a HR function, is very much expected that you're going to do other things and it's okay.
Yeah.
Whereas, and share your knowledge and your experience and be better for the industry as a whole. I think HR is something where they don't want to gatekeep. They want that knowledge out there so everybody can work at a better standard.
Yeah.
Everyone can enjoy work in a better way. When we're trying to do what I do in regards to finance and stuff like that, they don't want you recommending no one else.
Yeah.
They don't want to put money in nobody else's pocket.
Yeah, facts.
Do you know what I mean? And so, but then at the same time, in stopping you putting money in someone else's pocket, it also meant, because I remember when I did a deal with a certain company and we were on contract, And when I wanted to work with Pentecostal Credit Union, for example, or when I wanted to work with Jamaica National Bank, they'll be like, oh no, they're our competitors. And I'm like, you lot are not in the same
They're
league.
not your competitor.
They're not your competitor.
They're not your competitor.
Like, who they're looking for is my community.
Yeah.
And so and that's why, again, people don't know like what man's really gone through, because again, man turned down a 6-figure deal in order to be able to support my community.
Yeah.
Because when the contract ran out with that company, rather than sign another 6-figure deal, I said nah, because I want to be able to support my community. And if I can't support I'd rather potentially get less, and not have the guarantee of this 6 figures, and know that I'm able to empower my community and work with who my community need me to work with, then get this money. And that's sometimes the issue. You have that as well. Sometimes the issue, you want to work with these brands, but they only want you to work with them.
Yeah.
And when they're not doing stuff, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
So basically, you're just frozen out.
They're just paying you to just sit on the bench.
Yeah. Literally.
And I finally understood, like, that's what footballers must feel like.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're like, oh, you should be privileged. You're earning 150K a week. But actually, man just loves playing ball.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to kick ball at the highest level.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the dream. That was the dream. Yeah, you want to feed your family, but that's okay. I've done that now. I've made after 2-3 years salary. I've got enough to support my family and so forth. Like, what I really want to do is kick ball, so I've got a legacy, so I can say that when I stop, people remember what I did.
Honestly,
do you know what I mean?
Honestly.
And if they keep you on the bench but you're getting the pay, there's no point.
No point.
And so that's the sacrifice that I always tell people, like, you don't understand the sacrifices that we actually have to, like, on a day-to-day basis make. Like, at the end of the day, I literally walked away from corporate, from my corporate job, because I didn't want to just help rich people get richer.
Literally.
Like, when I sit here today and I really think about it, sometimes I look at myself and what is your problem? You know, what's wrong with you? Like, why have you chosen the hard road? Why have you like, literally you're in a position to win and you keep choosing to do it the hard way.
Yeah.
And the reason is because if I choose the easy way for me, I win, my family win, but my community don't.
Yeah.
And I don't count that as a win.
Yeah.
And I know that's not everybody. Listen, I'm not telling it doesn't have to be everybody. I'm not telling you be like me. No. Do what I speak to people on a regular basis. I tell them, do what you got to do for your family.
Yeah, straight.
Do what's best for your family. But for me and my mental health, I've tried it. Like I said, when I was on that contract, the first year it was cool. Second year, I was just like, no.
Yeah.
I've sold myself for money. I just don't enjoy it. I then can't do the content I want to do. I don't feel the joy, the peace. I don't feel happy. So I feel like there's always that strike that balance.
Yeah, no, facts. I think you're spot on, man. And it's funny because I was talking to Josh the other day, innit?
Yeah.
And I was saying to him that, do you know what? I feel like in this life, I feel like God has appointed some people that have to do it for others.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like your MO is just to do it for everyone around you.
Yeah.
And it's like, we've both got that. And that's not for everybody, because like you say, we tell people, bro, do it for yourself and your family.
Exactly.
These times we're doing it for others, innit? So.
And it's important, and that's the thing. What you said is so important, because, like, man's been doing this. Like, I always tell people, see what I do now, I've been doing this. I tell people, like, even sometimes me and my sisters will beef me. Like, do you know what I mean? Because they'll be like, rah, you're out here taking this young person for dinner, taking this young person, you're helping this one get work experience. What time do you have to be our big bro?
Yeah.
And it's like, I get it. Like, I get it. My wife had to come to the understanding, like, I'm for the people. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not because it's what I love to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's what I'm passionate about. It's what I love to do. Like, and I'm just not me if I'm not out, like, just helping people. And sometimes, yes, I need to put barriers in because it got too much. Like, I was voice noting replies, DMs at 1 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Just because I'm trying to get them all done. And my wife is just there has to be a cutoff. You have to stop. So yeah, I get it. There gets to, you can become over consumed in it. But at the same time, this is what I love. This is my legacy. Like, and so like I said, getting stopped and people wanting to take pictures of you and people wanting to just tell you how you've affected their life positively, and you're meeting them in person for the first time. That there's no money for that. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, if you need to just focus on you and say, like, actually, I need to make this decision for me and my family, and I win and maybe other people don't.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Facts.
mean?
Yeah.
Because if God's giving you that opportunity, you take the opportunity with two hands.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just know for me and where I'm at, that's just not. It's not enough for me. The money and the and the yeah, the money is just not enough
Yeah.
without the impact.
How do you think that people that might not be their calling, but how do you think they can still impact their community? Not their community, but like even like their family around them and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's really important to share wins. I think and losses. Like I think
That's it.
so much so that hence why we have the W and L. And I think I would encourage you lot, even and we're gonna try and make it more easy for you by taking the W and L section out of our previous podcast and making it as a clip on its own, so you can go back and watch people's
Facts.
because when you really listen to what people like, the people have been successful, but yeah, a lot of it has come from the lows. A lot of the reason why they are where they are today is because of how low they went. They went, and sometimes in order for you to, I see it like a bungee cord or like you've got to put pressure, so you got to go
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
and then once you've reached the maximum, you let go, and then boom,
Yeah.
you're flying. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But sometimes you got to go back to go forward. Do you know what I mean?
Facts.
And sometimes you got to take those L's along the way and then take them as lessons to say, okay, I know not to do this, I know not to do that. But also, I did this mistake, and I'm still here.
It's crazy because as you were speaking, I was just thinking that like this podcast is literally a library of successful people in your community.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say it's literally a library.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because so many people have said that the W and L is the same. Or the W and L happened at the same time. So the bungee jumping thing makes sense as well.
And it's so important to understand that when you really think about it, like for me, like when we've got this, and I get people that stop us and say like, thanks for introducing me to this guest, thanks for bringing on this person because I never knew. And it's so important. Yes, it's great to have real celebs and all of this stuff, and obviously as our brand is growing, like some of the people that comment on our posts and comment, we know you're liking because you want to come on. Don't worry, we're gonna invite you. Don't worry, we're gonna invite you. But at the same time, it's like we want you to see everyday people.
Yeah.
Because it's possible when you see people that look like you, that didn't have any special treatment, but were able to still achieve, were able to still overcome. And that's what we want this to be, is to be somewhere where you can, there's so many podcasts out there, so many people talking about so many different things. For us, it's like, how do we get to a point where we can really build wealth, we can really get to financial freedom, and actually how can we be inspired by people who look like us, people who've been in situations that we've been through? Because a lot of the time when I'm watching finance stuff that like for work, as a financial advisor, the people that's educating us don't look like us.
Yeah.
And sometimes the words they're using, you have to use Google to say, what was that? What does that even mean? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it feels like there's such a barrier because even the way they present is dry. Even when they're trying to make it a bit more fun, their jokes, I've got to Google the joke to understand do you understand? Because it's not my culture. I'm not, your references that are normal to you are not things that I would have seen or watched. So I don't get your references.
Yeah.
So I need to Google what's the reference so I can understand the joke, so I can be and it's that, it just feels like work on top of work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas we're trying to make it easy for you to have that and be able to listen to people that sound like you, look like you, come from your background, and let you know that it's possible to be more. Because how much gossip are we going to gossip? Like how much time am I going to say, this said this said that, who should pay on the first date? How many times are we going to have these debates before we say, actually, as a people, we've got to move forward?
Yeah.
Like, as a people, we've got to say, we want more. Do you know what I mean? And so, for me, that's where I feel like we're really taking this. But, as I said, sometimes it feels like a passion project.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we're doing all of this, like, the camera quality, the time we're taking out, everything we're doing for you guys. And it's like, sometimes it's just like, to like or to comment or to subscribe, you would think we're charging you a monthly fee.
Literally. I remember we spoke about that at length on the episode that Tiana was on as well, wasn't it? It was crazy. But it's true. It's like it's a subscription to like a comment.
And we hold it. And I was speaking to my wife about it. She was saying that she's doing a trend, for example, and when she sees other creators that have had similar followings as her doing certain trends, especially when they come from other communities, the numbers blow so much quicker. They get so much more engagement.
Yeah.
I think with us, and what I was telling her is that I think in our community, it's harder to get us to like or comment or subscribe. But when we do, when things go wrong, we'll stick by you. Do you know what I mean? Because we've really bought into you.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of other communities quite fickle. It's like, okay, you're doing something now, I'm with you. The second you say something I don't like, you're cancelled.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit of everything.
Yeah, facts. I think that in our community, entertainment space is quite easy to blow as well because we like joke. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, definitely.
We like joke.
No, definitely. But I feel like going forward, we just need to work together. And so for me, it's like, even you guys, you're listening, you're watching, like, what more can we do? Like, what more? Like, we don't want to just bombard like content down your throat. Like, let us know, DM us if you really care about the pod and you really care about what we're doing. If you think there's something that you'd like us to add, if you think there's a guest you'd like us to bring on, just let us know. We're here for the suggestions. You know what I mean? We want to make sure this is adding as much value as possible. If you think there's a certain segment you'd really like, oh, we'd love for you to just explain a certain segment where you just explain an investment, or we'd love for you to get your guests to talk about XY, every guest to talk about XYZ. Do you know what I mean? Let us know. We can shape it around you.
Make it happen.
We can make it happen. Nothing. We're not untouchable. Do you know what I mean? So we just want you to get the best experience as you're listening to the pod.
Facts. I think that's a sick suggestion. So let us know in the comments below. Any new sections, any guests, whether you want like clips cut down and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Any suggestions, we're here for you because we make the podcast for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And again, if you want us to do the best bits on the pod and try and create like a 15 minute version of the full pod, or a shorter version of the full pod, like with just the juicy parts in it, we can all of these things can be explored. We just want to make sure that we make it as easy for you to get the knowledge that you're looking for.
Facts. But bro, what's been your W and L of the week?
I think W-wise, I've had quite a few government departments reach out to man, and
nice.
It's very, very humbling, like, to see, like, you know, government departments say, look, we want to speak to the country on certain things. We'd like your opinion on what we should do, how we should do it, how we should engage, how we can work with you as well, and stuff like that. So that's been really powerful and really empowering. This is crazy. I'm going to say this. So I moved accountants.
How was that? I'm just scared to do it, bro.
It's scary.
Yeah, bro. It's just so much moving over.
It's so much moving over, and things get missed. And this is coming onto the L. So can you imagine now? Obviously, my dad passed as well. Moved accountants. Moved office. Didn't change the address. So it was one of them online offices. So then they're sending letters through emails. But obviously my dad's passed. I'm not even checking emails, not doing nothing. I don't know why, like a month ago, I just said, oh, let me just check this. You know when an email comes in, you're just like, let me just open this. I never really see it. I open it. HMRC are taking you to court and you're gonna get a CCJ. I said, me, financial advisor.
Yeah.
For what? Oh, you had it because you changed accountants. Your previous accountants didn't file. By the time your new accountants filed, they filed late. So there was £100 fine. But because I had ignored the £100 fine, it went up to like £900. And then they then said, we're gonna give you, if you don't reply, we're gonna give you a CCJ. I had to now start. Luckily, my new accountants helped me. I had to start doing appeals and this and that, all for £100.
Crazy.
£100. They want to give someone a CCJ that could affect what I do as a financial advisor, like affect my career, forget my work.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously we're regulated. All over £100.
Crazy.
So it's just like sometimes, and again, it's just a thing of sometimes in life, like you go through stuff, and yes, things don't seem important at the time, but just not answering that phone, just blanket. It's not a way. It's not a way to win.
Yeah.
Like if you ain't got the energy, that's where I should have got my PA to just go in my emails, just check them for me, like as they come in, just start responding to them, making sure while I'm dealing with what I'm dealing.
Yeah.
But instead, I just said to forget everything and just got in my feelings, and sometimes that can have a negative effect. Do you know what I mean? Luckily, it's all been sorted out now, but for £100,
it's crazy. They move mad.
they could have tried to ruin man. And if I didn't open that, I would never have known.
Yeah.
And they would have said, well, we sent you a letter, and I'll be finished.
Yeah.
So again, it's so important. Like it's so important that even when you're going through hard times, if you can't look at your letters or look at your emails or whatever, get someone else to do that. Someone you trust to do that, to make sure that you don't end up, because these are after our money.
It's crazy.
Even like now, bro, they put. I live near. I've got 3 schools near my house. 3. They put this no driving school ban, so you can't drive school. You can't drive at certain times near the school.
Oh gosh,
bro. So imagine, even like in the morning, you want to get Uber. Uber can't even come to your house. You have to now walk way out of the zone to get on an Uber. When you want to drop you, Uber got to drop you before the zone. Like, and it's just like, and then the system went down. All we saw was just bare letters. Had to do appeal. Oh yeah, sorry, our system was down. When I tell you these men are hungry for money, right now, there's no money in the country.
Yeah.
So any little way they can make dough from you,
it's crazy.
They're looking to make dough. Your council is trying to. You heard about the TV license, right?
No.
Well, they're looking to add TV license to council tax, so you can't choose choosing to avoid paying it. They're just going to increase your council tax to include TV license, and then the council will pay BBC.
Because they clock bare people stop playing TV license.
Yeah, they said people, I don't have TV now.
It's YouTube.
Yeah, so now once you got a house, you're already paying TV license, whether you're watching live TV or not.
It's crazy.
By force.
It's crazy.
What? What kind of country is this?
It's crazy.
For what extra value? When nobody's watching BBC.
Yeah.
Nobody's really watching like those channels. Everybody's watching on demand.
It's crazy.
I watch iPlayer more than I watch BBC. Do you understand? If I watch iPlayer, I'll pick what I want to watch when I want to watch it.
I want to watch it, yeah.
I don't want to wait for you to. And plus, I love fast forward. I'm a fast forward guy.
Yeah.
I know you lot think your thing is banging, but I'm a guy. I like to fast forward.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Once I've watched the first 5 minutes, if I know what's gonna happen, I just want to fast forward to see what I think is gonna happen. Watch it happen. I don't need to go through all the left and rights that you're about to do. It's so mad that we live in a country like this, like where it's just like at every corner they just want to take money from you. Like when you really deep, like you get paid, they're taking income tax from you. Then everything you buy, you're already paying VAT. So value added tax is already on it. Then you pay council tax. Do you know what I mean? Then you've got national insurance, which is just another tax. So we get taxed twice anyway when you get paid. So it's just like
road tax, bro. Then
inheritance tax. You try and see your GP. You try to drive your car on a smooth road. You just try and even man's internet. Let me try and use my internet upstairs. I've got to buy boosters from Amazon plug them in to bring all the
crazy.
Bruv, when was it? No, I don't like to compare, but when was in Dubai, bruv, everywhere. There's nowhere man didn't go that man can't get free internet.
Yeah, of course.
Every building you go into in Dubai anyway, everywhere. And in the mall, hey, tell me, once you touch that mall, boom, you're connected.
Yeah.
And it's like it's your own personal Wi-Fi. That thing don't drop. You got all full bars.
Yeah.
Bro. When you go out here, Westfield or something, you try and jump on that thing, bro, it's fluctuating.
Yeah.
It's painful. It's painful because you just want to get your money's worth. I don't mind, tax me. If you need to tax me. But let me see my money's worth.
I think this is it. And I think in the UK, they're used to just being inefficient with how they spend the money.
Come on. And then just one people will blame another people. And then what did they try and do the other day? They said, how are we gonna fix the whole labor who are designed for the people? They said, oh yeah, let's get it from not just benefits. Let's reduce benefits for the disabled. Yeah. Do these people have a heart?
It's crazy.
You're telling me out of all the people to take money from, it's people with actual disabilities that you wanted to reduce how much they get?
It's crazy.
It's a cost of living crisis for how long?
It's crazy.
And so this is why I feel like and the reason I ramble about this stuff is that let's stop accepting it.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to accept.
We don't.
We don't have to accept just because we're here. We don't have to. What is your plan? What's your exit strategy? And it doesn't have to be necessarily like you might still want to be here. You might still want to get but you can contract. So if you're contracting, and again that contract is from home, you can be anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Like you can get contracts from other countries.
Yeah.
So is your skills transferable? Like, let's not feel like because we're here in a system, we have to stay here and live it and basically eat the way they feed us.
Facts.
No, we don't have to. We can decide what we want to eat, what we don't want to eat, and where we want to eat, what time we want to eat, and in what location we want to eat in.
Facts. Facts.
What about you, WNO?
I think my W has to be catching a fish.
Yeah, of course.
I've always wanted to do one. I've always wanted to catch one.
Yeah,
catch it and eat it. I think that it takes you back to the times of when men were men, right?
Come on. I love that.
So catching a fish, and cooking it and eating it, probably my L, obviously not feeling 100%, which might actually be because of the fish.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, that's my W of the week.
Nah, I hear you. That's sick. Talk to me. So we saw some stats that came out recently about the fact that people basically earning 6 figures plus, still feel like they're not rich, they're not wealthy, they're not.
Yeah, 9 in 10 people earning over 100K think they're not wealthy or don't feel wealthy. What do you feel about it?
Yeah, because I would understand why as well.
I understand it.
Because wealth and income are two different things.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and so you can be rich. That doesn't necessarily make you wealthy.
Yeah, how do you determine wealthy?
Like for me, wealthy is when
if you could do it in one word. I got my word. Automatic.
Yeah.
It just happens. Money just happens.
Yeah, I think that I think it's when you're really wealthy, it's a case of with or without you being there, you're able to generate an income from it. That's wealth. Like for example, like I always use the Michael Jackson estate. You know what I mean? Like his estate, the last time we checked, his estate was earning like 45, 50 million a year, and he's gone.
Yeah.
That's wealth.
Yeah.
That's generational wealth.
Yeah.
Like to be able to create that level of income and you're not even alive.
It's insane.
It's actually wild. And not that we have to get to that level, but it's possible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In regards to you being able to create stuff that doesn't require, because again, people will feel like, oh yeah, I'm wealthy because you got a good job and you get good bonuses and you get a company car and phone and, you know, they take you on trips around the world and that's not wealth.
Yeah.
That's a job.
Yeah.
All right. You got a good income stream, but that's just one income stream.
Yeah.
And if they decide to make you redundant or let you go, all of a sudden your lifestyle's gone.
Yeah.
There's no more trips. The company car, they're taking it back. The phone, they're taking it back. Now you got to pay your own phone. Like your lifestyle is based on your job. Do you know what I mean? And so what wealth comes from when you take that money from that income and then put it into other investments that are separate from, you know, you having to work for, where you're actually putting your money to work.
Yeah.
And then you'll feel wealthy. And again, I think when I was listening to some of those stats, they were talking about the fact that a lot of men won't talk about the fact that they borrowed money from their family to get, even though they earn 6 figures.
Yeah.
So like, imagine you might be on 40K, 50K, and you're thinking, wow, you know what, I'm struggling like to get on the property ladder or man are on 6 figures and they're still building wealth using bank of mum and dad.
Yeah.
So when you really understand that a lot of it's to do with access and also to do with generational wealth that people are experiencing now, that's why we talk about, okay, even if we're not going to see it, what are we doing today that will benefit our children to give them the leg up and it will pass on. Do you know what I mean?
Facts.
And then they'll be in a position like we might not even see it. Like, do you know what I mean? When you think about today, like those first, I love football, so I was talking about football, but when you think about those first football players that played in England, and they used to call them monkey, baboon, they got racially abused by their own fans. They had to shower in different places. They weren't here to see it, but could they imagine that people like Saka and Rashford and these men will be getting these types of checks and doing these type of deals, and you know there'll be people, you know, there'll be a captain in England and all of this type of stuff. When I got watch TV and I see Ian Wright and Jermaine Defoe commentating on matches, it's like my commentators didn't look like this when I was growing up. Do you know what I mean? And it's like someone has to do the work in order for other generations to benefit.
Facts. 100%.
So yeah, what's your thoughts though?
Yeah, I think that I'm not surprised about it. I think that, like you said, that wealth is something that's different in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And when you look at like the deductions from like 100K salary as well, they're quite rife. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
come on.
And in order to build wealth, you need wealth comes from investing in it. So you need a
Yeah,
substantial amount to invest in it.
exactly.
So if you've been on 100K for a significant amount of time and you're not really investing, or this is why it's important, and I'm gonna go off on a tangent. This is why it's important to invest early.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because really and truly, someone on 100K when they're 35, starting to invest at 35,
Yeah,
the person that's on 22K and started to invest when they were 22 years old, probably going to be a better position
yeah, of
because
course.
it just takes time, innit? Do you know what
Yeah,
I'm trying to
yeah,
say?
yeah, yeah,
So I think that a lot of people focus on their income, but not their investments as well.
yeah,
Like some people think it's to do with lifestyle inflation.
yeah.
I don't necessarily think so. I always say I don't think 9 in 10 people suffer from extreme lifestyle inflation,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
But I do think that there are a lot of things that when you put into the fact that if they're a family of 4, children, a nursery and stuff like that, it's a lot. Do you know what I mean?
no,
So
definitely. I definitely feel that. I definitely feel what you're saying, and I think for me, like, I want people at home to feel like I think also there's the thing of if I make 100K, you start to live 100K lifestyle, but you're not actually earning 100K. Although you might make 100K gross, like after tax, then also now because you're on 100K, you want to live in a certain environment, in a certain place that costs more. You want to go to certain restaurants that cost more. You want to network with certain people that cost you more. And so when you add it up, how much of it do you actually have left over to invest, to do your other stuff?
yeah,
And then again, because you're trying to reduce tax, you'll speak to someone like me and we'll tell you, put so much more money in pension. So the money you do get, you're now banging it in pension to reduce the tax that you're paying, but you're not going to see that for another 40 years.
yeah,
It's like, okay, so right now, it's great that I'm putting this away and it's gonna benefit me in the future. But right now, how do I enjoy it? Do you know what I mean? And so it's a really hard balance to be on to chase a good salary. But I always tell people we're not chasing income. We're trying to create income. We wanna create income. So you wanna buy income.
yeah, facts.
Like you wanna be able to say, look, I know that this thing produces £1,000 a month, and I can buy this for 30K,
Yeah,
and know that after the next 3 years, everything I get out of it is profit. Do you know what I mean? And I can hold that and generate that and benefit from that over time. And again, sometimes it takes a while. So then that's when we want to collaborate.
yeah,
You want to come together, put your money together with other people so that we're stronger. So that even if you apply and the banks want to say no, there's too much income on here, there's too many good jobs, there's too many good credit scores. So they just have, even if they want to say no, they can't.
Yeah,
Like, whereas when you come with your one self and you want to borrow at your maximum and you've had some credit history issues, it's always going to be a problem.
yeah, uphill battle, man.
Yeah, exactly. And so I guess that brings on to the last point before we end is property dead? Let's ask the property guy. Because right now, the way everyone's talking about, house prices are down, and things are not growing the way they should do, and buy-to-lets are rubbish, and the government are taxing landlords, and da-da-da-da. If somebody's coming now and they've got their 50 grand, 100 grand, and like, okay, I just want to buy and, buy an income stream going forward, can you still do that with buy-to-let?
Yeah, I think that is property dead conversation is kind of like, what are you doing with it?
Yeah.
Like buy to let is tricky, innit? It works in some areas, but sometimes if you're 50K or you're 70K,
Yeah.
it's gonna be making you £350 a month. It's kind of like, is that really
Is it
worth it?
worth
Right. So I think there's that. When it comes to like legislation as well,
Yeah.
I think that legislation typically affects buy to let landlords anyway. If you go through other strategies, like one of the main legislation that's affecting landlords is that Section 21 is being abolished, which means that landlord basically loses control of their property. Like you've got a lifetime tenant, and that's why people are moving into two main strategies. First is Airbnb, because they're not actually on a tenancy. Your guests have another home always, by the way.
Yeah.
And then they're on a contract like a hotel, basically.
Yeah.
The other one people are moving to is HMO as well. And that's because HMO typically has a high turnover anyway. So you're always going to get your property back at some point, basically.
Yeah.
And then I think as far as house prices going down, I think that a lot of it is in kind of like the higher regions,
Yeah.
like 700,000, 800,000. I think that there's so many people that still want to buy between the 250k mark and 500k mark. That it's a good place to operate in, because there's so many people that are still waiting they've got the funds ready and they're waiting to buy. So in that kind of region, you do find that house prices are performing typically quite well.
Okay, cool, man. Cool. All right. We come to the end.
Yes. Guys, hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. Remember what we spoke about. So what you want to hear about us, what you want to hear on the podcast, any sections you want us to add, any guests you want us to bring on, just let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, man. And yeah, we appreciate all your support. We appreciate every like, sometimes I'll go on, the video's just been uploaded on YouTube and I'll go on there and there's already a comment, or there's already like, we appreciate like our diehard supporters. Like we rock with you, and we're definitely going to do a live event eventually and get to meet you guys in person, because we appreciate each and every one of you. So like, keep rocking with us, keep supporting us, and we'll keep providing you with the best content.
Peace.
Later.